to work on in advance of this fight in terms of your training camp?
I think I just needed to keep a more open mind going in my next fight, so I don't get closed in on a certain game plan, knock away from it. I think that was the biggest mistake and lesson learned in my last fight.
Oops, sorry, I realized the camera's a little bit dark. How you doing, Rory? Last year, you were able to make it to the playoffs, but you weren't able to make it all the way. What were you able to learn from last year's experience that you're going to be able to use this year?
I think just being a little more relaxed, going with the flow, having a better pace through my training camp. There were several things that I adapted and changed for this year.
Awesome. And your opponent himself, he has gone undefeated, 12-0 with 11 finishes. What do you feel like you need to do differently to get a win and do something that nobody else is able to do?
I think just showing up and being at my best. I think I could compete with anyone in the world. Fighters that are undefeated or not. I'm just going out there. I got to do my best, stay technical, be aggressive, and I could put anybody away.
Beautiful. And last one from me, Rory. You have almost tripled the experience of your opponent. How do you think the experience will come into play during your fight?
Yeah, whenever the fight goes longer, and if it's a competitive fight, experience always plays a part to stay relaxed and be able to keep pushing through those deep waters. So that's always beneficial for guys like me.
Beautiful. Hey, I appreciate your time, Rory, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Sportscast.
Rory, first of all, how are you?
Good.
How was your training camp?
Very good.
Nice. First, one UFC question. Nate Diaz has booked against Hamza Chimaev. How do you see that fight will play? And what do you think? Can Nate win this matchup in later rounds?
I think Hamzat has got a lot of advantages going into that fight. He's the clear favorite, but you can't count guys like Nate Diaz out. He's a dog, and he'll fight to the very end.
What do you think about Hamza Chimaev? Is he a little bit overrated? Because much media is focused on him than Shavkat Rakhmonov, who has more wins in UFC and wins against tougher competition in UFC.
I don't think
many people are hyped around Hamza Chimaev. I think he is a good fighter, but not as good as they think.
I think he's very good. The thing is, when you're fighting professionally, a lot of it is what you do outside of the ring, and that's what gets you the attention, and you get pushed up the ladder faster if you can be a fan favorite in and outside in the cage, and Hamzat's been able to capitalize on that.
Nice answer. And last one for UFC. What do you think about fighter payments in UFC? Should fighters create fighters union like players do in basketball, football, and other sports to have a better payment?
We've the fighters have tried to do that in the past, but it ended up falling through. Just because a lot of the fighters that were interested in doing it, when push came to shove and when things got serious, and the people would have to make sacrifices for a little while, a lot of guys dropped out of it, and it just didn't have any gas in the tank. So unfortunately for fighters, we really depend on each and every fight and the money we bring in. So for us to take a back seat for the greater good of all of us, to get paid more and form a union, it takes a lot of join sacrifice in starting something like that. And it's just a very difficult thing to do in this sport, just because it's such a personal sport. You know, there's no teams or anything. Everyone's out for their own. So it's a very difficult thing to do. Do I think it'll be good? Would it be good for us? Yes, absolutely. But the last attempt at it just it didn't work out.
Thank you for a great response. You fought in Bellator, you fight in UFC. Now you are in PFL. Can you tell us which promotion do more for fighters? Which promotion has more care for fighters?
Absolutely, PFL has been the top organization that I've fought for as far as what I receive financially and support wise. I love fighting for them. I feel like I got a fair shake, and I think a lot of other fighters coming here from UFC and other organizations feel the same. It's a great league, and I feel like there's serious people behind it, and it's a great team, and I think PFL is a bright future.
Yes, and different organization than UFC and Bellator. Different type of matchmaking and path to the final. You have to fight the best to be the best. Like more than UFC. In UFC, much fighters has like matches to skip to going to the title. Like
I said, you could capitalize on marketing to get your title shot faster than others who have maybe fought more than you. The PFL's season format is competition based. You know, you're rewarded for your performances, and it's a fair situation.
You fighting on Friday. What do you think about?
Hey, I'm sorry. We got to move on to the next person.
Okay,
sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
nice,
Thank
nice.
you.
Okay.
Miles, go ahead.
Hey, Rory. Miles from Brookie's Basement. Hope you're doing good. The last time you fought an undefeated prospect, you were victorious over Neiman Gracie. What do you have to do on Saturday to repeat your fortunes?
I think I just have to stick to being technical and aggressive. Make sure I get in control of the fight and work my way to the finish.
And you unfortunately missed the playoffs in your first PFL season. What are your thoughts now on the format, and how do you prepare knowing you have multiple fights booked at once?
It's a challenge. PFL format is very difficult, and it's a grind to get through it. So winning a tournament like this would be one of the biggest honors of my life and my career. And I'm working hard to make sure I do that.
Thank you, Rory. Good luck Saturday.
Thanks.
Ethan.
Hey, Rory. Ethan Albin, Tunnel Vision Sports. How do you plan on approaching Magomed, given his reputation as a finisher?
I'm just trying to focus on my own abilities. I know he's a talented guy. I've seen a few of his fights, and I want to stay away from his strengths and just work mine. And I think I have a lot of skills that I could put in my way in, and I'll just try to keep the fight in that direction.
And one more question for you. This fight will be your 33rd professional bout. You know, how much longer will we see Rory MacDonald?
I have no idea. I just go one fight at a time.
Thanks, Rory.
Thanks.
Neil, did you have another one?
I did. Thank you. Should introduce myself, Neil Davidson from the Canadian Press in Toronto. Rory, you're still a young guy, but you've been at this for a long time. I was just wondering, what is your stress level these days as you approach fight night?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm having a good time in Cardiff. We got beautiful weather. and I'm feeling pretty relaxed. I'm in a good headspace, so I'm not too stressed at the moment.
Good to hear. Thank you.
All right, Eddie.
Hey, Rory, it's Eddie with FiveBananas.com, and I wanted to know between Carlos and Saudi Boy, seeing you get the win here, who do you want to see next in the finals? Would you rather get the rematch, or would you like to test yourself against the Challenger Series, Carlos?
I think I'd like to have a rematch against Sadabu. I think I have a better performance in me, but both are great fighters. I'm honored to compete with both of them. I mean, Leo had a great performance against Ray Cooper, who beat me last year. So, both competitors will bring the best out of me.
Awesome. And I have one fan question from James Howell. Shout out to him. He wanted to know, how has the adjustment been with the new puppy in the house?
It's been awesome. Kids love him. He's a great dog. Just getting through that potty training stage and just enjoying the little new addition to the family.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rory, and good luck.
Thanks.
Dylan.
Hey there, Rory. I appreciate you making some time.
My pleasure.
I'm just curious because your opponent's unbeaten record has kind of been mentioned. I was reading an article where it was kind of talking about your unbeaten run prior to the Carlos Condit fight. Do you think this is going to be kind of his Carlos Condit moment in a sense?
Yeah, it definitely could be.
And also, I'm kind of curious where you were training, because it seemed like you were getting in work at Sanford MMA, which is Killcliff FC now, but it seems like Austin, Texas and Montreal are kind of the main areas. Like, whereabouts, like gym-wise, have you been working between those locations?
Yeah, so at the beginning of this year, I made the move to go check out Austin, train with Tim Kennedy and guys like John Donaher and New Wave at Roca, and I really loved it there. So I've spending most of my time there and in Montreal at TriStar, but I still have a great relationship with the guys at Sanford or Killcliff now, and Henry Hooft and the coaches there. So I'm sure I'll spend some more time training there in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate the insights, man. Thank you.
Neil, did you have one more question?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Rory. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, guys.